If you're still in school, I'm sure you're pretty tired of having to wake up every morning and sit for 7 hours straight and listen to meaningless stuff. Well, now that I'm graduated, I've been very grateful that I don't have to wake up at any specific time. But I've also been reflecting back on early school years, and it got me thinking how awesome kindergarten was. So today I'm going to go through a short list of things that really stood out to me in kindergarten. So the first notable thing is that nobody cares what you do. Now let me explain. In high school and especially middle school, you'll find the most judgiest, meanest little kids ever, to the point where if you find yourself sitting alone at lunch, you'll struggle to eat because you just know there's some mean kids looking at you. But in kindergarten, you can take a literal piss on the floor and no one will care. And I did. And like I said, no one cared. Besides my grandma, who had to come bring me a new change of clothes. Sorry, grandma. But I remember one day in kindergarten, I really had to go pee. And honestly, it's more understandable if I pee my pants in high school, because we had 8 minutes between classes. And as my high school years progressed, teachers got more and more strict about bathroom usage and would only let us go between classes. But sometimes you don't have to go at freaking 9:34 in the morning, but you might have to go at 10. But you can't because you didn't go 30 minutes ago when you didn't even have to go. But my main point is that in high school, you don't have bathrooms in the classroom. My kindergarten class had a bathroom not 10 feet away from me, but I decided to not get up and take it like a champ and pee my pants. So anyway, I released a puddle directly under my desk, and then my teacher came over to me and said, I wonder who did this. And I simply looked up at her and said, I don't know. And then she just stared at me and told me to pick a friend to go to the office with so I could get a new change of clothes. Now, personally, I am not trying to be that friend that gets picked, because from now on, you'll be known as the friend of the kid who pissed his pants. That is until the literal next day, when everyone forgets or simply does not care and moves on with their day, coloring and picking their nose. The next thing I want to discuss is how easy the work is. I'm a bit of a nerd myself, so a lot of work in high school wasn't necessarily hard. We just had a lot of it, and the hard part was finishing it, not doing the work itself, if you know what I'm saying. And I know it's biased saying this now, that work in kindergarten was so easy after I know all this knowledge, but seriously, looking back on it, I'm starting to think they thought we were really stupid. And they were absolutely right. We learned the most basic words and did coloring sheets all the time. Now, I was a really stupid kid, and I have a perfect example, because I remember one time we had this coloring sheet in kindergarten, and there was a bunch of gumball machines, and on the glass of the gumball machines, there was a name of a color, and we had to color the gumball machine whatever color it was. And I kept mixing up pink and black for some reason. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I had a literal treehouse in my classroom. Unfortunately, we didn't have the budget to grow an actual tree in our classroom, but it was made out of wood and it was sticking out from the wall. Let me get some background information before I go into what I'm going to say about the treehouse. So we had these different stations in my kindergarten classroom, and each station was associated with a different color. And when it was station time, we would go grab a wristband with whatever color we wanted to go to. And unfortunately, there were limited wristbands per station, and the same kids would always get the good stations, which was the tree house, and the computer station, which was right below it. Now, at the time, the computer station was really nice, but this was also 2012, and the computers were kind of crap, because it's 2025 and school computers are still crappy. So think about how much worse they were back then. And honestly, I still have some underlying beef with those kids who took good stations every day, and I barely got any treehouse time, and instead I had to go sit in some TP or something. I actually don't remember exactly what that was. There was something in it, maybe some books or something, I don't know. But anyway, more specifically about the treehouse, the teacher said you can only be in the treehouse if you are reading the books that are inside it, because that was the trade-off. It was like, you get to be in this cool treehouse up high, you get to climb a ladder and chill in it, but you have to read. And I'm not convinced that any of our class could actually read a full book. I'm telling you, Hop on Pop was a struggle, but I kind of had a big brain. It wasn't that big. It was a medium-sized brain, and I got to thinking, I was like, well, if I could give the illusion that I'm reading, I could get more treehouse time. And I would just take the books and just be like, oh, my bad, it's upside down. But yeah, anyway, that's the daily work that we did. And we also didn't have nap time like in preschool. I never went to preschool, but I heard of this glorious thing called nap time. But this one dude in my kindergarten class used to pretend to sleep every single day, and he would get out of doing so much stuff. And he was one of the kids that was always taking the good stations. The last thing I want to talk about is making friends and how easy it was. Now, this is probably one of the main things none of us want to admit, but making friends is hard. The main reason it becomes really hard in middle school and high school especially is because you can barely get someone to even smile at you in the hallway, which is entirely understandable because no one in high school has a good sleep schedule, so they always come in very tired and pissed off. But in kindergarten, you can pretty much adopt your friends. What I mean is you can go up to someone who you think is cool and be like, hey, we're friends now. Even if you have to ask, can we be friends? They'll probably say yeah. And it's so easy and straight to the point. We would have to line up when we would like go to lunch or go to recess. You know, you got some street cred if you were near the front of the line. So I used to say, hey, I'll be your friend if you let me in front of you. Literally, this strategy worked every single time. Not only did I look cool because I was near the front of the line, but I also gained an extra friend. So yeah, we weren't afraid of being judged back then. You can't go up to a high schooler and say, do you want to be friends? Now, for those who have elite ball knowledge, this is the equivalence of Raleigh Jefferson saying,
hey Greg, you want to come over and play?
But yeah, in high school, you're just gonna somehow weave your way into these people's lives without being creepy and then hope that they accept you as being a chill person. So to sum it up, everything was more carefree back then and nothing was stressful at all. And we didn't have to worry about anything at all other than what's for lunch or dinner and what toys we were gonna play with after school. Nonetheless, I'm glad to be graduated. It's a very surreal feeling, but I have way more free time now other than going to work. But hopefully this free time will make my upload schedule better because I actually do want to dedicate a good amount of time to making videos. I really enjoy making them and I want to turn this into work and I really enjoy making them and I want to turn this into a career someday. And I know I need to put more effort and time into these videos. But yeah, thank you all for watching this video. If you felt some sort of nostalgia and you wish you could go back, leave a comment down below. A lot of things were easier, but now it's even easier because I don't have to worry about school at all until I go to college in the fall. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you have any video suggestions, like any other videos that I've recorded, or one like this where I'm just yapping about a random topic, leave them down in the comments below and I will definitely make sure to get to them. Anyway, with that being said, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.